And welcome back. This is Jonathan Gardner playing some more Factorio. Just messing around. So, I was going to have the power just kind of find the lowest point here. It's kind of hard to see for the trees, but I think it's over here. Let me look at the map really close. Oh, it's hard to see. It's like right here is the lowest point. I might just fill that in eventually. Let's just start here. Oh, I need a tool. I should get a steel one, but I don't want to research that. This one probably won't last very long. Lots of trees here. I don't like starting with lots of trees. It's just a pain. It just slows everything down. So I'm going to have the pump. Let's build the pump. I have underground pipes now. We need 10 or 13 of these guys. 13. That's what I need. 13. So 5, 10, and 12. 13 to 1. I think that's the ratio. I have not. I know that the ratios keep changing, and I don't really pay as much attention to this game and the mechanics as I should. So I apologize for that. How far down? I'm not going to go far down. I'm just going to have it go here. 13 of these guys. And it's pretty much flat here, isn't it? Yeah, it's flat. And if it's not flat, I can make it flat. That's 12. Let's make 13. So alright, let's go get the 13th here. You're done, guy. I could have just teared you up too. Speaking of which, I said teared you up, right? English. I think English is changing. I think that we should get used to the fact that the English that will be spoken maybe a few decades from now will not be the English we speak now. As more and more people around the world speak English, they're not going to speak it, what do you say, the right way? They're going to speak it, they're going to speak like a simple pidgin English. If you don't know what a pidgin is, it's kind of like a combination of two languages that non-native speakers speak. Anyway, so what's going to happen, I think, is you're going to have this simplified form where probably verbs won't even have tenses. Like you won't say like I go, he goes. You'll say I go, he go, right? And you already hear this happening in some of the way that people speak. I'm trying to press F and click it at the same time. I was doing shift for some reason. That doesn't work, obviously. I need power poles. So English might change. That's an interesting thought. What if, like, in the future, English sounds nothing like it does today? Right? And so, like, to us, like, the future English sounds weird. And to the future English, like, if you got in a time machine and spoke to us with the future English, like, we would sound weird. You think about that? I mean, we already do sound weird. Kind of some of the ideas behind this is one day I met, oh no, what? This isn't right. This is not right at all. Q, it's the right thing. One day I met this guy in Korea, like back in the 90s, and he was a trader. He trades, you know, overseas, that kind of stuff, and he was pretty proud of the fact that he was really good at English. Everybody, like people in Japan and Korea and Malaysia, everybody could understand him. He's quite proud of that fact. I need the logistics to finish here. Anyway. And so he spoke English with us, and I couldn't understand a word he said. And another thing was when I was in high school, we had like a Vietnamese janitor, and we had like a Mexican or something secretary. And I caught them talking to each other once after school hours. I don't remember why I was hanging around after school hours, but I caught them talking to each other. And lo and behold, it was not anything I can understand. But as I listened closely, I'm like, no, that's English. They're actually speaking English to each other. It's just the grammar and everything is all wrong. It's much simplified, and the pronunciation is so different than what I'm used to. You know, so in the future, maybe English will not be English anymore. That's an interesting thought that I have sometimes. What will English be like in the future? How will it work? Is that copper right there? No. Let's move this up one. I'm going to move it up one. What will it look like? I wonder if YouTube and the fact that, you know, people like me that speak English natively, we get pretty good coverage. You know, I think the vast majority of the YouTube content is by people whose English is their first language, like me. Of course, you get the different accents. You get the English accent, you get the American accent, things like that. But I wonder if YouTube will save some of the more complicated structures in English. Meaning, like, maybe because there's so many people out there speaking English on YouTube that use verbs the right way, maybe that won't disappear. Maybe it'll be preserved because of that. Now, that's an interesting thought. What if I keep pressing the wrong buttons? It's Q, not to. I want this research to get done. I need it to be done. Would you just hurry up and do the research, please? Please hurry, research. There we go. Now I got a splitter. I'm just going to hold off on research for a while. So just press T. I don't really want any research, and viters are probably far enough away that I'm safe, and if they come, I'll be fine. I need iron. That's what I need. So, what will English look like in the future? And so all of you, like, German speakers, Germans tend to be really good with English grammar, and I don't know if that's because your native language is so similar to English in many ways. But it's people that don't speak the European languages that have a hard time with, you know, English. So I wonder if you German speakers that spend all that time trying to speak English so properly, wonder if you're wasting your time. Just, you know, 20 years from now, you won't have to speak proper English. You know, those are the things. 5, 10, 1, 2, 3, English. Or maybe something like Spanish. You know, I think Spanish. So Spanish is actually the #1 spoken language in the world, if I recall the fact correctly. But Spanish is way up there in terms of the number of speakers it has. Escape. I'm trying to press Q. Is that the right? That's the right distance. So Spanish is way up there, right? And maybe Spanish will become the future English. I mean, because Spanish, to be honest, Spanish is a lot simpler, and it already has solved a lot of the issues you get with popular languages that many people speak. You know, Native Americans picked up Spanish, and they kind of adopted it in their own little way, and you have Spanish itself was already kind of like a congregation of different languages. Catalan, what is it? Not Catalan. Oh, what's the name? Anyway, what's the word? It's on the tip of my tongue. They don't call it Spanish. Not everybody calls it Spanish in Spain. They call it... Anyway, it's actually one of several languages that are very similar to each other. And it's the one that kind of made it out of its area, because the speakers of it ended up becoming the ruling people, I guess is the right way to put it. They were in charge. So yeah, so we're making science packs. I don't want to make science packs anymore. I'll just hold on to those and just take that. I'm going to tear these factories down. I'm in no rush. I'm in no rush at all. 8 minutes. We talked about English this episode. I want to start building my iron. Iron. 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is probably a good number. I'm gonna need a lot of stone. Need a lot of stone. So English. Spanish could become the lingua franca. Chinese could. Something you didn't know about Chinese. Something that I learned about Chinese, and I don't know if this is right or not, but Chinese is already a language spoken by many, many different cultures, and like the written language of Chinese is incredibly well. Once you understand the characters, it's incredibly easy to communicate with, and so Chinese is another, I think, another candidate for a universal language. Just for that fact alone, just for the fact that it is. I'm going to put these here. So let me just start down. 2, 3, 4, 4, and then we're going to have belts coming down. I have plenty of belts, not enough, but I have plenty. And then let's see, how do I want to build it? I want to build it down. There's a big stone patch here. If I build it down, it's basically there's not. I think this one I'm just going to cover up eventually. I'll just build it down and then maybe to the right a little bit, 1 or 2. So I need some splitters. I need a bunch of. I need E. It's the right button. I don't know, 16 of these guys. 5, 10, 15, 16. And you know, maybe Chinese will be the language we all speak in the future. Probably English though, because YouTube is just so dang popular, and so many young kids are getting exposed to it. And I don't know what the right distance is. I'll just leave that open there. Oh, Q, not escape Q. I'm gonna do that like 10 million times. That's an interesting thought. And it's been a while. It's been so long since I played this. This? Is that where it goes? No. I spaced them out. That's right. I spaced them out. They take a long time to tear down. So Chinese is a spoken language, maybe not, but Chinese is a written language in terms of a lingua franca for writing. I think it's a fairly precise language. I don't know how... I'm sure it has to be updated for the modern age. Like, you can talk about any topic in Chinese, and there's already the language for it, like computer programming or whatnot, or physics or whatnot. All the language is already there. I think Chinese is a very precise written language. Like, nobody is confused when you write down the symbols with what things mean. Unlike, English, which it's kind of hard to tell which words go where. With Chinese, I think it's more obvious. I don't know. I do know that I work with a number of Chinese people that are native Chinese speakers, and their English is pretty dang good, but it's not perfect. And so I was asking them, because sometimes they get things wrong in English. And I was asking them, like, why, what's the confusion here? How would you say that in Chinese, And I found out an interesting thing is when we say search for something, right? So we use that for. Chinese people just say search the thing. The verb they use for search, the object is the thing they're looking for. The object to Americans, to English speakers, is the thing you're looking in. So we don't search the thing, we search the room for the thing, right? And so to Chinese speakers, that's just all confusing as heck, because they're used to search for the thing being the verb. How far away do I want this? I think this is a good distance. I need underground belts. Underground belts go here. Where's my splitters? I don't have any splitters. Let's make a splitter just to have one. We'll stick it here. Search for the thing versus search the thing. That was interesting. Arumba said in one of the videos, he says that he doesn't like doing this step of the game. This to me is the things that you do right now in the game shape everything else. And so in a way, the big factory, it's like a crystal, right? The big factory is already being built. Like, if you make a bad decision here, you almost have to start over, unfortunately. Oh, I need more belts. Yeah. Let's go over here. Let's just start making belts and gears and circuits and stuff like that. Now, like that. Let's spread it out a little bit. Belts and gears and circuits. Belts and gears and circuits. So this will be gears. This will be belts. And the transition from belts to robots, I don't know. But that's very interesting. Okay, so now we need some inserters. And we need some chests. Let's make some chests. English. Maybe English will win. It's not like a contest, but maybe English will be the language that is the foundation for the language of the future, right? Maybe. Who knows? To me, I think that would be a bad thing, because English would be changed. It wouldn't be the same English I grew up with. It's kind of like how the British sometimes feel about hearing Americans when they speak. They're like, that's not English. You guys have butchered the language. You've butchered the spelling. You've done everything wrong. You know what I mean? Okay, this is something interesting. So somebody would put the inserters here. And the reason why I don't like that is it's not symmetric. See, I can actually bump this up one. Move this whole thing down one. I think. Can I? This one can, but what about this one? Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay, let me build this the right way. I'm going to build it in a more compact way. Yeah, so what I would do, move this thing all the way over here. Looks like the kids are home. Okay, this one goes down here. Okay. And then this guy would have to come up here. I need more belts. Oh, look, I'm making belts and circuits. And it's going to come down here like this. Yes, that's what I would do. This one will just go out as far as it can. There we go. And so you can make it tighter, like one little thing tighter, which doesn't seem like much, but to me it's important. And this might actually be good for splitters and things like that. I don't know. 2. There, that's messy. That's just really messy. Oh, you know what I would do is I would actually come down here and go underneath this bridge. Like this. Anyway. Yeah, so if English became the language of the world, then the language I'm speaking right now would no longer exist. It'd be taken over, you know. I'd have to call it something else, or I don't know. Kind of like having a special language for the kids to learn, you know, something that part of their heritage. It's really fascinating when they can read the writing of my grandfathers, you know, when they can listen to old recordings and understand what people are saying in the native language they had. It's a connection. I feel kind of bad that languages disappear, so that there's no longer that connection. All right, so we have some coal coming down. Now we just need some iron and a bunch of inserters, and we should be making iron. 17 minutes. This is a long episode, guys. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time. Take care. Bye bye.